Alright, we're back, and hopefully this will actually work this time. Same King's Robot that I did before, well, that the video was corrupted for before. Uh, you playing Ryan. Let's go through this again, and hopefully come out the other side all completely fine. Alright, so right from the get-go, we go right here. Which I don't really like. Reason being is because once you get to here, you walk all of this distance to this spot, to this corner, and all that time, everyone here gets to fire at you and poke your shield out. And then you just get here, you have to reset because you got to wait for your shield before you even go back in. Now, their Zen and their Moira are over here, which means that they can shoot you coming this way, which is a longer flight line, but generally that's not the case, because if they play here, that means they're in danger. So they gotta play with their Rhine. Now, if you poke out and you see their Rhine here, then yeah, sure, come right. But generally, probably going left is better. Um, so, the thing, playing Reinhardt, just in general, some concepts with what you want to do with Rhine is you want to be able to manage both your shield and your health, because essentially as the main tank you are trading your shield resources and your health resources to gain space, and so you want to make sure that whenever you are taking shield damage or you're taking damage to your health, you're actually getting something back in return for them. Alright, so let's go with this. Alright, so far we are already stepping through this choke. Yeah, let's go back a few seconds. Alright, so we are currently just moving through at 350 HP, which there's no real reason to do. Their Rhine is at full HP, almost 452. We're at 350. You don't want to take fights that you are at a disadvantage with. Like, if you need to get to this corner, if you need to get to this corner and then just step back and say, hey guys, I need health, I'm just going to regain my shield a little bit and then we'll move in, do that. Like, you are the Reinhardt, you are the main tank of the main tank of the team. Like, the reason that you're this old is because the googly eyes are even in replays. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay. But the reason, I guess that makes sense actually, that they're also in the replays. But the reason that you're this old is because you're basically the dad of the team. You gotta be the one to be like, hey guys, like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, and this is not necessarily even from a shot calling perspective, because like they're the main tank needs to be vocal. The main tank needs to be calling out what they're doing because the team needs to follow the main tank. You have to dad them. Be like, guys, we're doing this. Follow me. Get behind my shield. Step back for a second. I'm getting my resources back, and then we're pushing in. Because, and this might not be from a shot calling perspective, because again, the main tank doesn't see a whole lot. Like, I mean, if you're back here, you see a lot more than if you're up here. But you still need to be able to be vocal about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then tell the team to fall in line. Alright, so don't push through the choke when you don't have full HP. Okay, we back up. Getting resources back. Alright, so that time we walked through the choke when we were at around 800 shield health, when we could have probably recovered our shield slightly more. The thing with that, though, is that their Rhine was also around 800 shield health, I believe. So maybe you knew that, and so you figured that the shield was around the same. Right, so he's at 900, 600. You're currently at 600. So your shields are relatively the same. But there's no harm in taking a step back and recovering your shield a bit more. Now, the other thing is, you could have seen me here and figured, crap, I need to shield my stupid Zarya. The googly eyes. Yeah, so maybe you were like, I need to shield my Zarya, but like, I have bubble, I can back up. Like, I probably wasn't in danger, but that's fine. That's fine. So this was kind of a weird. So you move to the statue. May's here. I'm like, crap, May. I bubble you. You get sucked into the pin. Like, you get pulled from here to here, but don't take any damage because you were bubbled. But I certainly didn't know that Ryan was charging when I did that. Okay, we're backing up. So this is one of those things. Where you have to be vocal. You have to be telling your team what the heck you're doing. So yeah, in your mind, crap, my shield's at 204. I need to back up. Yeah, and that's fine. And also backing up means that their Ryan, to get aggressive, needs to push into our team if he wants to, which is worse for him because he's slightly out of the range of his team actually being able to do stuff at that point. So that's good. Backing up is fine, but you got to be vocal about it. You got to be like, but guys, back up. Guys, back up. We need to back up because what happens is Brent here does not back up fast enough. And then he gets killed. So good block, you blocked him with 120 HP in your shield. Nice pin. That was a really good controlled pin. I like that one a lot. Like, you ended right here. That's awesome. Because, like, literally everyone on our team can help you if they need to. You're in the line of sight of basically everyone. Great pin. Like, this pin though? This pin though? Maybe not so much. This is one of those things. I hate how the stupid sounds keep playing, even if. But this is one of those pins where you make it and go, ah, no, I've messed up. Which you probably realize, but no, don't make that pin. Don't make that pin. Also, just something for Katie is that when she Valks, she can be so much further away from her team. Like, she can probably be like flying up here, still healing me. This is probably about the range that you can stay at. Like, there's no need to be this close and fly in and all that stuff. Like, stay far away, you can stay in cover, and then if your team is moving away, you can then fly to them. Alright, I missed some stuff that you were doing. What did you do when you got back? Oh, another pin. Well, that was annoying. Alright, this is good, this is good. I mean, you can probably push forward a bit more. That might have been a little too much, but we are kind of in the cleanup phase of the fight. Actually, we're not. There's a lot of people alive. That pin could have came back to bite you, but it turned out okay since you hit it. Alright, so we go here. We chase. Another pin. Pinning machine. So I remember us being in the comms at this point and being like, hey, follow us, follow us, follow us. We're gonna go chase like this Zen, but then we have Finny who stayed behind to fire his tire, which was probably unnecessary. Probably should have just followed us. But 4 of us are here, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty good success rate for our team. So we probably got a bit too aggressive in this little quarter because it's basically just a choke. We don't really want to be fighting here. After we killed the Zen and Sigma escaped, we probably should have just backed up to our team. But we're getting cart progress, so it could have been a lot worse, but it probably wasn't that smart. So we get a bubble in Blizzard, but we take too long to move out. And this could have been my fault as well, because I don't think I told you I was going to bubble you. I just think I said you're bubbled, and then you had to react. So I should have been like, I am going to bubble you, get ready to leave. And then well, I still would have died because I'm pretty effectively zoned out there. Oh my gosh, the eyes. But you might have actually survived. So that was probably both of our faults. I'll take the blame for that one. Ouch.
There is still more to my tale.
Allow me to repair the damage. My will may
Okay.
onwards to victory.
So that hammer was pretty good. I'm pretty sure you knew that their Ryan hadn't yet returned. They do have the Sigma, but he didn't have the shield, so I guess you just went for it. He could have blocked it, but that went pretty well. Although just as a Ryan in general, it's really easy to forget that the other Ryan has hammer when something happens. Like there's so many times where you get a hammer and then you just go, "Oh, I'm going to kill all these people," but their Ryan's over here and then he hammers your team. That happens a lot. Or the Ryan counter shatter and grab happens a lot because it's just like, "Oh, I'm going to swing because I want to kill them." I don't think that the fact that they have hammer and they get a hammer back, which kind of happened here, but their Ryan was also a bit late and it was a bit chaotic. But just try to always keep in mind when their Ryan has shatter, because that could happen at any time. The counter shatter is a really good method to save your team, even if you don't get any kills from it, which isn't the case here because they won the fight. But whatever.
In we can go. From a hole is my will. Fire at will.
Alright, so we make this pin here, which was a great pin. I love that pin. I mean, obviously, you do it because you're walled off, and you're like, well, either I die or I make a play, and then you move their ride all the way here. Like, what's this ride gonna do now? He's so far away from his team. It was so good. I like it. I like it a lot. And then Katie comes back for you, so that's good. But this is also like, just Katie in general. Like if she's playing Mercy, like if she bunny hops here, like she ends up like way back here. She can just go from relative danger here to fly past you and right here and be pretty okay. Okay, cleaning up, cleaning up. Oh, okay, this is kind of weird, but I just realized that I forgot to mention something from way earlier on when we were first approaching this choke. Disadvantages of doing the same video twice, I guess. Okay, so here we talk about taking all the damage and all the resources to even just get to the choke. But then you start to back up when you have 80 HP. Fair enough, you have 80 HP. But then you fire strike. You fire strike with about 120 HP, which is just asking for them to kill you. Just back up. Just back up and let yourself be healed. And I just rethought of that because I'm pretty sure you do that again sometime pretty soon. But don't fire strike when you have low HP. You're just asking for them to kill you. So you obviously pushed up because you wanted to help me, but there are times when, as a main tank or just a support player, like where like your team is going to feed, and that's what I was doing here. I flew into their team when I well, they had a Mei. I knew they had a Mei, but I forgot at the time. And then I was just like, hey, I'm gonna die. So yeah, sometimes your team will feed and you just can't do anything about it. But the most important thing is whether you want to survive. You want to be alive. So if you push all the way up here and your team can't help you, then you just drastically increase the chances that you yourself are going to die, which is terrible for your team. I fed, so just let me feed, and hopefully I'll learn from my mistake. That was such a good wall. Yep, we can't really do much about that.
This will heal you.
Back and our duty is to move the payload. Then
Get in
do it.
position.
Come out and face me.
Alright, so you poke here, and you come out, you gift them your shield, essentially, when we don't really have much to actually do anything. Junkrat, like our biggest damage person, is back here. On a pole? Wait, what is this? His leg is really long. Yeah, so our Junkrat is back here, just doing something. I don't really know what he's doing. But our Junkrat's back there, so our biggest damage dealer isn't here to actually like poke at their shield as well, and they have 2 shields specifically, so you gotta be really careful. So like you don't want to ever like lose shield resources before a fight starts. Like there's a poke phase that generally happens before the actual engagement of the fight, and in the poke phase you will take shield damage generally, but you don't want to be able to gift them your shield resources before you could actually do anything with those shield resources. Again, you want to trade your HP and your shield to make space. So when your team is ready to move forward, and again you have to dad them, be like, hey, are we ready? Are we ready? And I know like we don't talk that much as a team about this stuff because like no one ever like says anything. So ridiculous. Like we're kind of conditioned not to make the right callouts because no one ever follows those callouts, but like as the main tank, being vocal is the best thing you can do. You want to be vocal. Hey, are we ready? Let's push through, and then push in, take some shield damage, but push them, at least engage on them, like create pressure on their Rhine. Like when you get their Rhine backing up, like you're winning that fight. You're taking all of that space, you're striking fear into their hearts, and then they can't really even do anything. Like it's so hard to be able to be like on the retreat, especially if you don't have a Lucio, and then actually re-engage and take that fight efficiently. Nice block. And nice hammer. So I love this so much. Like you don't actually get it because obviously the tire gets it, but you have a sick hammer. The Ryan could have been baiting you by doing the I'm gonna turn this way, but well, he probably wasn't. I mean, first of all, he didn't block of it. Second of all, we're in gold plat in this game, so probably not. But I love the fact that you walk forward and pin him back into your own team. It's so good. It's so good. Stupid tire ruined it for everyone. We get a Bob for some reason. Fair enough. Ashe is still up top. That's unfortunate. Likely she decides to suicide into us. Brent gets taken off. This is kind of one of those fights where we're doing too many different things. Like, why? So we get split off, and then Lefty fades, but ends up here because she wants to help Junkrat, I guess, and then she's way out of position, so she's not back here where she needs to be and healing because we took a bad position over here, and then we don't have our resources where we actually need them to be, and then everyone dies because of it. So it's one of those things where we just get a bit, oh, I'm pretty sure I make it out. Oh, yeah. Keep that charge, however much charge I got. How much charge I got? Only 50. I mean, it's a decent amount.
60 seconds remaining.
Alright, let's look at this engagement. Do you sacrifice your shield beforehand? Okay, so a little bit. Yeah. Nope, that's too slow.
60 seconds.
Alright, so this is really good. You pushed up, you took some Sigma shots. You didn't even offer them your shield. Great, fantastic. Take some damage, give your healer some ult charge, and you're still well into your armor HP, so that's fine. Like your armor HP, like you want to be able to play around with that, because healing armor obviously is way more effective than healing normal HP, because like its armor is better than normal HP. So playing with your armor and gifting that to your healers is great. So good job. You didn't put up your shield for the Sigma that was standing right here. But let's see if you approach. Actually, it's probably better to view it from out here. So you're taking some shield shots, Again, you're a bit in front of your team. Like your team can't do a whole lot here. Like you're here alone taking a bunch of shield damage when you're getting nothing back in return. Like, so be a bit more careful. Like if you have to, oh, our team's about to get wiped, isn't it? If you have to hold right click and like look behind your team before you like actually engage, like do it, because we need our team to be on the same page. Be in the comms, say, hey, we're pushing forward. Try to be as effective with that as possible. And then at that point, if you are in the comms, if you are talking and saying, hey, this is what we're doing, follow me, this is what we're doing, back up, like, so we can survive, and people don't do it, at that point, it's just their fault. like there's only so much you could do as a main tank. It's a very team-based game. If people aren't actually acting as a team, they will be consequences for those people, and sometimes they have to learn the hard way, sometimes whatever. Oh, I just went back 20 seconds, whoops. Okay, so you did another great charge. This charge is really good. However, even though the shatter works, it's kind of because their Rein is a bot. You walk around the Sigma shield and on an off angle to their Rein, which is basically super telegraphing the fact that you're going to shatter. But their Rein, for some reason, I don't know, gets distracted by coalescence or something. I don't really know, because their Rein starts facing this way, and his whole team gets shattered as a result. Like, this is like one of those things that works, and then in your mind it kind of justifies it. Oh, it was a good play because it worked. But like any Rein worth their salt would be like, well, this Rein's about to shatter. Like, this is like, it's one of those abnormal plays that you don't do as a Rein unless you have shatter. So you're telegraphing the fact that you have shatter. You get it off, but their Rein should have blocked that, and then you would have been here away from your team. Now, obviously, we have Moira Mercy, so it's not like they can't heal you, but it's just one of those things where you're a bit isolated, and it makes it a little easier for them to kill you. Because if Mei puts up a wall right here, then likely you're just dead. However, this pin is great. I love it. Yeah, this dude's name is Yuck Few. I just realized it's ridiculous. Alright, so yeah, the Rein is dead. Just push in. This is one of those things where, like, when you're pushing in, like, you can easily, you could either just walk there because you still have full health and your healers are on you. Yeah, your healers are on you. Yeah, look at this. Or you can shield hop. Like, either way is fine. But, like, you take the space as fast as possible. Just walk in. We hit Q when we win the fight. I don't know if I'm being too, I don't know, pedantic at this point. But, like, when you walk in, keep in mind where you can be healed, because, like, you walked in and then kind of walked in front of the payload, which gives your healers a little harder of a time to actually heal you, because you're slightly out of their line of sight. Like, Maria can put here and then heal you from the side, but then she's more in danger. Like, try to stay in your healer's line of sight as much as possible. Obviously, it turns out fine. We had a pretty major ult advantage.
This will heal you.
Round one. Complete. Score.
All right, 25 minutes so far. Oh my gosh, this is taking so long. Hopefully this is helpful. Like I'm trying to focus on like the little things that you can do. Like, well, I mean, I guess positioning isn't really little, but just the things that you can do that stack up, like, to not being as effective as you can be. And a lot of it is just being in comms, honestly. I'm feeding. Actually, get out. Alright, so before the fight has even started, we've taken full shield damage, and this is like one of those things where you're like, shield is down, but like your shield doesn't have to be down at that point. Like let's go back. So we move up. And again, this is one of those things where, like, you can do nothing for me here. Like, I either get out on my own power or I die. And if I die, well, that's my fault, especially because I'm a Winston. I have my own cooldowns that I can use. But, like, there's nothing that you can do for me at this point. So just kind of leave me there. Like, you don't want to move forward and then be way out of position here. You want to stay by the corners, either here or here, probably. This is probably a good spot to hold. Alright, so shield is already down, and we just kind of took a bunch of Roadhog damage and a bunch of Hanzo and Ashe damage. Like, if your shield is getting destroyed, don't let it actually get destroyed. Just back up. Would staying here be better? I don't know. Maybe behind the statue you can drop in, recover your shield health, as long as your team is with you. Especially because in this meta there is no Widow. Oh dear. So we're in this fight with 400 HP on our shield, and I'm pretty sure that their Ryan, yep, he's at full health. So be careful in the poke phase. Like, you don't want to give them all of your shield in the poke phase, man. Just tell your team not to poke. I'm not shielding y'all. Stop poking. Okay, we get some picks, and that's nice. Ryan charges away.
Get into position.
Oh no.
Ready for battle.
I'll be 5. Allow
Barrier destroyed.
Okay, we're back. Alright, so this is one of those things, and it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. Oh no. Stop it. It makes that stupid noise. I gotta... Okay. That stupid noise as well. Whatever. I'll just talk as it plays. Alright, so this is one of those things like I was talking about earlier, where if you are Ryan and you can just push into the other team and make them back up, you are winning this fight already, even if nothing has really happened, because you are taking the better positioning, you're taking the better space, and then you have all of the space in which to make decisions. While if you start backing up, then your team is getting corralled into this little space, or back here, I guess. Those are like the two options, and your team is heavily restricted at some point. So as the main tank, you cannot just let them push in for free, which is why, like, taking this spot here and then being able to back up isn't really a good thing. Now we took this spot particularly, this one way back here, and we did that because we were afraid of a Widow, which this happens a lot. But this positioning is just terrible, like, because again, you have nothing you can do. It'd be better to be able to hold this statue, and then if they engage here, you can engage them, or if they engage on this side, you can engage them. But to be here and then your only process, or your only option really is to back up more, is just basically saying, hey, you can have everything you want. Feel free to win the fight whenever you want. And that's basically what happens. Like, there's just nothing we can do. So we're already in this spot. We're just giving them literally all of this room for free. And they didn't really even have to waste many resources on it, I don't think, either. Let's see. So 100 damage. So he took 130 shield damage and well, a bit more. Okay, we'll say 300 to 400 damage, and he gets in with almost a full shield because we're not able to actually poke. And we have a Junkrat. Like we have, well, yeah, we should have more shield damage than them. Junkrat does more shield damage than Hanzo. So like we should be the ones that are forcing their hand, but they forced our hand, and we were able to back up and be super passive. We were able to. We backed up and we're super passive, and then at that point we just can't do anything. Like we need to be able to maintain our own space, because if you lose the space, then you're just losing the fight. Unfortunate. And I'm pretty sure, because they finished King's Row, and I'm pretty sure that when we defend again, the same thing happens. Like, we take this spot's terrible, and then we lose. I don't know if I'm going to watch this whole VOD, because we're already at 31 minutes, and that's kind of ridiculous. There's so much left to do. But honestly, the big things are managing your shield and health resources. You don't really pin. I think you've only had one bad pin this entire VOD so far, so that's pretty good. Just keep in mind when you're pinning where you're going to end, and you talk about it a lot, so I know you know it. And then just one of those things where you pin every so often, and you go, "Oh crap, what was I doing?" So yeah, shield resources, pinning. Always keep in mind when they have ult, even when you ult. Try to maintain all. Speaking of knowing when they have ult, try to maintain line of sight to your team, and then I think the biggest thing is be vocal. This pin is insane. Like, did you mean? If you meant to do that. So we get shattered. They beat at some point. I don't know why they beat. As response to Colossus, you get a shatter here, and then somehow you pin through this. You don't hit the Roadhog, even though Pin is infamous for like sucking things into them, and you somehow pick up this Moira. Like how did you do that? If you meant to do that, that's insane. But their Rhine did the same thing, where like they get a shatter and they kind of just go, okay, well it's fine, and then boom, huge counter shatter. We still win the fight, even though they beat it. Like that's such a huge investment for nothing. So yeah, be more vocal, and I know you can be vocal. Like that's not a problem with you, but like let the team know you're the Reinhardt, and this is what you're doing. So now we're in the difficult spot of a nice block that they have a Lucio and we do not. So them taking space is so much easier. And it's really hard for us to maintain or counter that aggression because we do not have a Lucio. And in fact, we also have a Mercy. So we're in like a double whammy situation where it's so hard to do anything.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Alright, I'm probably just going to speed through the rest of this, see if there's anything egregious that I remember mentioning before that I haven't mentioned this time. Okay, yeah, so this hammer was one of those hammers. It was like a hammer of opportunity where you're like, well, their Rhine is there, he can't block it, but also when you hammered, they were too far away like to do anything against. Like there was nothing you could do at that point. Let's see. I believe I remember something else happening here. Oh, I already gone back. Okay, yeah, so you hammer, and I'm pretty sure you charge. Okay, so you actually kind of get lucky here because when you charge, the Lucio boops you into the payload, which means you're in a better position than you would have been. Because if you actually charged, well, you're going to hit the Roadhog, first of all, and Roadhog is Roadhog. He's going to survive because Like, he doesn't have his E, but he still has 600 HP and his healers. So he's going to survive, and so if you crash him into this wall, then you're just going to die because you're way out of position. So try to keep in mind what you're doing when you're pinning, I guess. You get a shatter, and I think you hit Ryan as well, but the things that you hit are both tanks. They're really far away, and we don't have Lucio, so if you aggress on them with pin, then your team is just way out of position, and then they die. Although I think Lefty Coalescence is here. Yep, Coalescence. But yeah, you do drop down to like 40 HP. So you get booped into the thing. Yeah, 28 HP. If you were any further, you would have been dead. So thank you, other teams, Lucio, for saving me. Alright, let's watch that again. So we get Coalescence. We get healed up. We aggress because we have Coalescence. And then I feed, so you back up. Okay. Yeah, so that was probably me. That was fine. You intended to use the Coalescence to push into their team, but then I die. Oh dear. So in that last fight, you probably should have just went ball, because there was no way we'd have 2 fights from that, and you just want to stall as much as possible. But you know, whatever. Alright, so one more fight. Yeah, this video will probably be just as long as it was before. I don't know if it's as good. I feel like I forgot some stuff, but whatever. I should actually... I'm not going to, but I should watch this video and see how many times I say but whatever. It's probably a lot. That noise is insufferable. Alright, so already we're in a weird position. Like, there's no reason to be here. Like, when you're Ryan, you want to be able to hug as many corners as possible, because then you can aggress outside of those corners. Like, if you're here, you can peek with a hammer, and just, you can hit them back while still maintaining cover, and it's really good. So, like, if you're just out in the open, then you lose all of that advantage of actually being in cover. And the more I think about it, the more I like holding like this spot right here, because it's really easy to get back over here with the Rhine shield, but it gives you more options, because literally you can cover them here, or you can cover them here. Like, if they move left, then you can move here to like fight them. I don't know, maybe this position is too far out in the open. Maybe you'd want to move here. I don't know. No, I still think this position is better, because like this position, like, there's not a whole lot you can do. Like, they get the whole right side of the statue basically for free if you're here, and you can't, like, you can only push to them if they push this way. And then if they are really aggressive, like if they come around statue here, then you kind of have to come back here, because then you don't have any cover. You're just kind of like, hey, shoot me, I'm right here. Like, so you have to drop back if you take this position and they take the right. That's really the only thing you can do. And then, as we've established before, once you're here, you've basically lost. So, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens right now. So, well, they don't go around the statue, and we win the fight. So, okay, nice. You avoid your shield getting broken. Well, okay, just as I say that. But you did avoid your shield getting broken. Alright, so now we're already in the secondary position. They don't even need to push us into it. Okay. I like the aggression there. I'm pretty sure you did it because you heard that their Mei had used wall. So that was really good. Reapers in our back line. But we're already in this spot again. Oh, that was a really good charge. And a really good shatter. Unfortunately, the fire strike misses. So, like, when you shattered them here, like, they were still a pretty good distance away, but, like, the difference between the shatter and third point that you did where they were far away and this one was obviously your team could help you, like, get those kills, and the fact that, well, they weren't just the tanks, but even if they were the tanks in this case, we would have enough firepower to actually kill them. So just really nice shatter.
Bob's almost ready.
And then we're already in the secondary position again. We're just giving them, like, literally when you take this spot, you're like, literally, hey, other team, all of this space, like, even including the point, like, you can just have it. And then they're just gonna say, okay, hey, thanks for the gifts. What does Roadhog look like with googly eyes? Oh, you can't see it. Oh, you can sort of see it. That's so dumb. So yeah, they take the space, because why wouldn't they? Oh, they actually go through hotel. That's a good wall. Alright, so this is also one of those things where, like, why is Lefty here? He, I don't know, I think he faded there too. Let's see, does he have his fade? That's you. No, he doesn't. So he faded over to this side of the point, and then he's just kind of here in a really bad spot. So, yeah, it's not good. I mean, we still won the fight. Oh, I just remembered how we lose this, because part of me is like, how do we actually lose this? But it's because we get zoned out in C9 with Blizzard.
Engaged. I cast this forward. Gale,
And we're off the point. Unfortunate. There's just too many times where we just secede all the space to them. But hopefully that actually recorded and that it was somewhat helpful. But yeah, just keep in mind, whenever you're taking any shield or health damage, you should be trading it for space. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing as a main tank. You should not ever just gift them those resources for free. Try to always engage a fight when you are at full HP and full shield. Like, if you need to step back behind cover and say, hey team, heal me up, I'm getting shield, and then we'll engage. You do not ever want to take a fight when you're down on those resources. If the other Ryan has 1200 shield HP and you have 600 shield HP, but you engage the fight, obviously you're going to lose most of the time. I mean, you might clutch it out, but, like, don't ever put yourself at a disadvantage when you don't need to, essentially. Man, I need to actually write these down so I can actually remember everything I kind of said throughout the video. Don't fire strike when you're low HP. That's just asking to be killed. And I don't know. I said other things throughout the video. Hopefully it helps.
10 seconds.
Stop moving, Mercy. This Google Eye thing is ridiculous. Alright, hopefully this was helpful. Feel free to let me know if it was or wasn't. Alright, it's 43 minutes now, so I'm just going to end it. Alright, peace out.